It's about that time.
Coming to you live every Wednesday night.
Fantasy start and sit advice with your boy PL.
And Michigan Mike, let's go.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
Mike and PL,
the fantasy show.
What's up, football family? Welcome to week 13 of the Fantasy Football Show. I am your co-host, Mr. PL Culture. Flanked to my right-hand man, Mr. Michigan Mike, Michael Hasso.
What's up?
What's going on, Michigan Mike? Man, you ready to talk some fantasy football, man?
I am ready.
Okay, man. Now, it's week 13. It's the regular season finale for us in a lot of leagues. Not all, but in most leagues.
Yeah.
And it's the season finale, Mike.
Season finale, man. It was a good season, though.
A good season. Good fun times. Now, with that being said, it's also the end of the dreaded bye weeks. Now, finally, man. It seems like it's been bye weeks the whole season.
The whole season.
Okay, now, week in and week out, we gave you the best waiver wire options for your lineup that particular week. And Mike, was there any that stood out for you? Do you have a waiver wire MVP, if you will?
Waiver wire MVP. You know, I have a couple. My main one, I'd probably say Brandon Oliver.
Okay,
you know,
yeah, he was big time.
Ryan Matthews went out. He was a good substitute up until this past week or two. But he definitely played as a starter. I do have some honorable mentions, though.
All right.
Some that aren't Titans fans didn't know about Delaney Walker. And he did really well. He's like, top tight end this season. Another one, of course, rookie Mike Evans.
Right.
He's definitely been showing out over there. So.
Especially lately, since he's come back from his injury, he's been an absolute beast and absolute steal if you took him real late or off the waiver wire. Good stuff. My MVP would be Justin Forsett. Aside from the Ray Rice issues, if you were lucky enough to grab him early when you knew that Rice would be gone, he pretty much did the work of a starting running back, one of only 3 players to have at least 65 total yards in each game this season. So as a cut for a backup, I think that was a pretty good look there as well. Now, all right, and there was another receiver that we profiled a few weeks back. Just tearing up the social media scene now, Odell Beckham Jr.
He is.
Good to see good things happening with him, a rookie receiver out of LSU. Let's get right to it. The catch.
That catch was crazy.
That was bananas.
That catch was good. And it was funny because they were showing him practice that earlier that day.
Which makes it even more spectacular. I mean, the guy was being held. I mean, I honestly thought the game was over at that point. Like that's some game changer type stuff. Yeah. So with that being said, we're not going to debate whether or not that was the greatest catch you've ever seen because that's all in context. But what was one of your favorite catches of all time that you remember growing up?
Well, I might be biased, and that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm going to say Charles Woodson, and you know what game I'm talking about, against Michigan State, and was it 97? And Michigan State quarterback tried to throw it out of bounds. Because he was about to get sacked. And he tried to throw it out of bounds, and Charles Woodson leaped outside and said, nuh-uh. And almost got a Gatorade bottle, too, and then caught it in bounds. It was crazy.
One of the most spectacular interceptions you ever want to see in your entire life. Good stuff by you, Michigan Mike. That actually gave me goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually rivalry week. You know?
Yes, definitely. Go Blue.
Go Blue. One of my favorite all-time catches I remember watching was on Monday Night Football. Antonio Freeman with that spectacular circus catch off the hill and almost off the ground against the Minnesota Vikings.
It was a crazy catch, though.
Yeah, that was the he did what catch by Al Michaels, yeah. Classic call by you, Al Michaels. Good job by you. Now, with it being week 17, you know, like, I know not week 17, I'm sorry, week 13. I know we talked a while back that we were tied in both of our leagues. Well,
we're still tied, Paul.
Lo and behold, in the Tennessee and Texas League, we are still tied with the exact same record. One, we're clinched. I'm actually very relieved to be
clinched. Yeah,
clinched in that. That's very, very tough.
But I have to buy, so for now.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, I'd just like to send a special shout out to Mr. Hasso, Mr. Papa Hasso, that he takes care of business and gives his son a holiday beatdown.
Why you gotta do that?
Well, because you're killing me on points right now, and I kind of need you to.
Man, stop playing.
I mean, we're okay. All right, we're in the battle for the number one seed, and yeah, we'll digress on that. Now, as far as the playoffs, you're pretty playoff savvy. You've been there. Now, for our people who are making the playoffs for the first time, Mike, what would be some tips that you give?
Main tip, like number one, is don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Like it's hard to panic. I mean, it's easy to panic in this situation, especially if you clinched or you're going into your first bracket of the playoffs.
Right.
And you're trying to make extra moves. You know, don't do extra moves. Don't do any crazy trades. Like, your team got you there for a reason.
Right.
Just make sure you look at the matchups and don't do anything crazy.
Right. Very, very solid advice here. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Stick with the team that's pretty much got you there. And this late in the season, you also want to watch the weather report. You saw the debacle in Buffalo the last week, so there'll be a lot of crazy weather heading down the playoff stretch here. So make sure you keep an eye on that as well.
Paul, I got something to say.
Oh, what's up, Mike?
I gotta have a little speech right now with my team. You know, going into the playoffs.
With your fantasy team?
My fantasy team.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Gotta do a little pep talk, if you will.
A pep talk, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is to my team. Team, we've been through some tough times. You look to the left. You look to your right. You probably see some new faces. You probably see some old teammates that aren't with us any longer. Now, that is going through the fantasy leagues. You know, some people have to be dropped. Some people have to be added. It's all about matchups. Don't take it personally. It's business. Coming down, we are still healthy. We are still together. We will fight as a team. We will not fumble. We will not turn over unless you're our defense. Now, we need to go out there, show the other team who's boss. We've been practicing this all season. Now let's go get this W.
Wow, Mike, I'm ready to get out there and put some pads on, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, you have to talk to him sometimes, you know?
Man, I'm about to talk to my team. Good job by you, man. Now, Michigan Mike, what are your season finale games to watch this week?
Games to watch. I'm going to do Thanksgiving Day. Watch all three of those games.
Right
Which
on.
is going to be Chicago Bears at Detroit Lions.
Okay.
That's the 11:30 game. Philadelphia Eagles here at home at Dallas Cowboys.
Must see TV.
Which is going to be 3:30. And then we have the Seahawks at 49ers, and that's at 7:30.
Boom. There you have it.
That's going to be a crazy Thanksgiving Day game.
That is
all games.
An awesome slate. Good job by the NFL. Good job by you, Michigan Mike. And.
That's right, everyone. When you hear that sound, it is time for this week's
Ho, ho, homer alert.
All right, everyone. I know we talked about him earlier about being a standout waiver MVP, but Mr. Brandon Oliver, owners, his time is up. He's back. He's a second string now. Ryan Matthews is back, and you have seen his fantasy points go down. So this week's homer alert are for you, Brandon Oliver fans. Put him on the bench. He is a now second string. He's a backup, so put him on the bench as well.
All right, you heard it right here. Brandon Oliver owners, you are officially on homer alert. Now, if you'd like to get in touch with us or have any playoff questions between now and the debut of our second season of Sports Talk with Mike and PL, man, looking forward to that.
I am looking forward to that. We can be free and talk about NBA and talk about anything that's going on in sports.
There is a glare in his eye. He can't wait to tear into some of these
college basketball,
sports topics, and
talk about ESPN again. Yes,
right.
No, I'm just kidding. Seriously,
seriously, he's telling the truth. So make sure that you're on the lookout for that. That will be coming very soon. My name is PL Coulter. You can reach me at PLCOLTER. You can always reach the co-host at
Michael Hasso. That's MICHAELJASSO.
Anything you want to say to the peeps before we roll on out for the season?
Yeah, I mean, just because we're finishing the show, you can always reach us at our handles. So if you have any more questions, last second advice, just reach us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
All right, and we thank you for following because you all know that life is a sport, so always play to win.
Go Blue.